This is Lord Thaddeus Cray. And this time, I'm going to be talking about a type of situation which surrounds many cryptids, from what I've read. Of course, I've heard people talk about. What kind of situation or status would that be? Undeath. What is undeath? Pretty simple. It's something that is not fully crossed over into death after life. Now, you have to understand something. Obviously, that kind of situation is not good. Of course, Hollywood has glamorized it with vampires, and of course, entertainment with zombies, and different things like that. But at the same time, there's nothing pretty or cute about undeath. Supposedly, it can offer immortality, different things like that. I don't know what it can offer, but in the end, I don't want any part of it. Because the fact is, in the Bible, it says you're appointed once to die, and then the next phase. So that in itself means whatever the hell that situation or status of whatever creature or individual is under that state, it's not good. It's bad. Very bad. Now, am I trying to sound like some old crazy street preacher? That ain't my intention. But logic speaks for itself. If it's not of God, and it's not of anything holy, it's unholy. And that means it's to be left alone. So therefore, I'm going to, at the same time, this is entertainment, I'm definitely going to bring up a list of undead creatures that possibly many people don't think about. One is actually the werewolf. Yes, there are many legends that have the werewolf as someone who has died a violent death, or there was something unclean in them and they came back. Look up a band called Powerwolf. They play off that trope. Yes, werewolves, surprisingly enough. Now, of course, there's something which is even more interesting. There's a story, I can't remember where, but look up a creature called a Pricolici. It's very fascinating. Supposedly, a werewolf, of course, who started off undead, dies again. They become something that's half vampire and half werewolf. Pricolici. Now, I could be wrong on that, but I think I'm right. Anyone in the comments, they want to correct me, believe me. You guys already know, I do constructive criticism without too much of a hitch. But I'm just going to say right there, it's fascinating in itself. Of course, you also have the old story of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. And of course, what exactly is that situation? It's about a man who is brought back from the dead, supposedly actually to be quote-unquote living. But what are the results of that? It's something horrific, and a lot of people die, including Frankenstein himself, after his entire family is destroyed and his life ruined. You got to think on that. That book was a warning, a big warning, which basically means tinkering with things like beyond life and death is bad for your health. I think it could even be bad for your soul. Now, why is Hollywood pushing this stuff? Don't get me wrong, I love these kind of movies. I do. But at the same time, there's something going on here. There's something really crazy going on. Undeath is not cute, and I do believe it's something that possibly could be very real, and maybe even part of techniques learned from the old world before the flood. And of course, naturally, such things, because the adversary, Satan, he loves to definitely permeate the entire world with that type of evil knowledge. Because you have to think on this, life. He cannot create, he can only mimic, copy. And believe me, most of those copies are very flawed. That's something else to consider when it comes to quote-unquote undeath. Now, there are other types of things. Among them would be, well, you gotta think about this, the Lich. Dungeons and Dragons. I've been an RPer, role player, for over half my life. I love it and I enjoy it. But the fact is, you always have to consider the source of such things. It's almost like they're trying to push this stuff really hardcore. Is there going to be something that we find out in the near future? I can't tell you, but I wouldn't be surprised. Hell, I never thought that we'd be dealing with what we're dealing with now. It's food for thought. Other things to consider. Hollywood glamorizes these things. Even, like I said, role-playing games, they glamorize it. Necromancy, things like that. You can be powerful, you can be all this and all that. Unfortunately, again, I think it costs a whole heck of a lot for anyone to get that kind of forbidden knowledge. And that's exactly what it is. Forbidden knowledge. People who claim to be mediums and can communicate with the spirits, I'm not putting them down because I think many people potentially have a real gift. Now, where it comes from, that's really not my place to say anything of the sort. I sure as heck ain't gonna go around knocking people of other faiths. That's not what I'm about. But what I am gonna tell you is you better know what the hell you're doing, and you better be aware of the source. You better know. Because I'm telling you right now, it ain't worth losing your soul. It is not. Ever. I'm just saying, just for a little bit of power, whatever, entertainment, okay, it's temporary. But damnation is eternal. You don't get another shot. So just remember that. You are given one chance at life. Live it. And if you don't give that chance again, well, you ain't gonna get it again. It says so in the Bible. That's something else to think about when it comes to undeath. Supposedly, I think it's the beast or the false prophet, one of the two. But someone is going to die in the time of Revelation. And someone who is either the Antichrist or connected to him will bring this individual who is slain back up, back to life. Now, what kind of situation is that? Except maybe necromancy or some kind of undeath. Something to think on this when it comes to that. There are so many cryptids that are quote-unquote undead. It's something definitely which is fascinating, but at the same time, it deserves to be left alone in many ways. And definitely, of course, you never ever, when it comes to the adversary, even though I despise him with every bit of my being, you respect power. And be aware, we're not fighting things which are flesh and blood, but against the spirit. Those are the things that can do something to you. I'm just going to leave it at that. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope you definitely enjoyed the information in which I tried my best to share with you. You guys already know what I do. I'm the producer for Chasing the Truth, Dogman Cams, and The Vault of Nightmares. For each of these shows, I will give you the chance to share your stories, your encounters with the paranormal or cryptids, or even something that's undead. Hit me up at westvic@dogmancams.com, or leave something in the comments. Believe me, those who know me know how to reach me, and those who don't, I've just given you the tools to do so. You guys be blessed, and you be safe.